Ashwini, turn on the cameras, please. Okay. Amal and Ashish, turn on the cameras. Welcome back to political science class. And today we are going to discuss about the sample question paper. Okay. So CBSE already released the sample question paper for this year. Okay. So we have to discuss that first. Want to understand the pattern of the question paper. Okay. And the mark distribution pattern also. Clear? Okay. So already you downloaded that, I think so, right? No. It is not, so I will upload in the class group. You can download that. Okay. So here it is. First of all, want to observe it clearly. Okay, the question paper code, you know that subject code, not question paper code, but the subject code. It is 028. 028 is our subject code. So it is very important. Okay, clear or not? Okay, so you can see here the time for the first terminal examination. We know that it's an MCQ. Okay, MCQ. MCQ pattern is there. Okay, and it is for 90 minutes. 90 minutes, 1.5 hours, right? So maximum mark it is 40. Maximum mark it is 40. So you can see the general instruction here. The question paper has 3 sections. Okay, clear? 3 sections are there for our question paper. It is A, B, and C. And section A consists of 24 questions. Out of that 24, you should attempt any 20 questions. Clear? Ready that? 24 are the total. Out of the 24, you are free to choose any 20. Clear? Options are there. Any 20 you can choose. That's what section A. And section B also the same pattern is there. There also 24 questions are there. Here also you are free to choose any 20 questions. Okay. So 20 plus 20. Now you got 40. Clear? Okay. Section C has 12 questions. Out of that 12, attempt any 10 questions. Okay. Section C, 12 are there. Out of that 12, you can attempt any 10 questions. Clear? And the 5th point, general instruction, there is only one correct option for every question. Okay. That is very important. Only one correct option is there. Marks will not be awarded for marking more than one option. So what do you want to do? You should mark only one answer. Clear? Clear. You are marking more than one. There is no marks for such kind of answers. Okay. The next statement, 6th point. All questions carry equal marks. There is no negative marking. Okay. By making mistakes also, there is no negative mark for that. Okay. And all questions carries a equal marks only. So 50 answers will be there, and the maximum mark it is 40. Clear? That is clear or not? Okay. So you can see section A, attempt any 20 questions out of 24. Out of 24. Okay. So going to the next page, you can see the questions here. Newly independent countries got an option to stay away from any of the alliances since the time dash was created. What was created? An idea? Is that NATO, CENTO, Warsaw, NAM?
NAM.
NAM. Okay, newly independent countries got an option to stay away from any of the alliances since the time dash was created. Okay, so smaller states were important for superpowers due to vital resources, territory, economic support. What is that? What is the answer? This is not the answer. Okay, this is not the answer. Okay, clear or not? Options are here. Identify the correct option. What is that? A, 1 and 3, B, 1 and 2, C, 2 and 3, D, 1, 2, and 3. What is the answer here?
1, 2, and 3.
B, 1 and, sorry. Check and say. The smaller states were important for superpowers. Smaller states were important for the superpowers due to what? Option 1, vital resources. Option 2, territory. Option 3, economic support. Economic support.
1 and 2.
Now the answer is 1 and 2. Okay. Smaller states, vital resources are there. Oh, not only that, it is important. What is that? Territory also important for the superpowers. So question. Okay. The smallest states were important for superpowers. Clear or not? Okay. Not superpowers were important for the smaller states. Okay, so please observe it clearly. Who appoint the vice chairperson of Niti Aayog? Okay, an idea? Okay, one thing you will do. I will upload this question paper for you people in the class group. So please find out the answers and send that to me. Okay, we can see 10 questions are here. Next one, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 21, this page, and here it is up to 24. So out of this 24, you have to answer 20 questions. Section B, that also attempt any 20 questions. That's what section B. Okay, you can see here the questions. Number of questions are there from our portions only. Okay, so another type of questions are there. Assertion and reason. Assertion and reason. Clear? It's an important type of question for the examination. Already you wrote this kind of questions, right? Right? Assertion and reasoning type. Already you know that. So assertion is here. The Cold War was neither a war or an armed military conflict, nor a condition of peace. It was rather a state of uneasy peace. Clear? That's assertion. The reason the Cold War was not being fought by clever moves, propagandist activities, and diplomatic conflicts. Okay. What is the answer? What is the answer? Please check. Both the assertion and the reason are correct, and the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. Both the assertion and the reason are correct, but the reason is not the correct explanation for the assertion. The assertion is incorrect, but the reason is correct. The assertion is correct, but the reason is incorrect. So check it. What is the assertion? The Cold War was neither a war or an armed military conflict, nor a condition of peace. It was rather a state of uneasy peace. What are you telling? Is this statement is correct or not?
Yes.
Yes, of course. The assertion is correct. True, right? Next one. Second one. Reason. The Cold War was not being fought by clever moves, propagandist activities, and diplomatic conflicts. What about this statement? It is true.
False.
See, the Cold War was not being fought by clever moves, propagandist activities, and diplomatic conflicts. Read the sentence one more time. The Cold War was not being fought by clever moves. Okay. Comma, propagandist activities and diplomatic conflicts. Confusion, right? Right?
Sir, but diplomatic discussions were there, right?
Yeah, diplomatic discussions were there. Okay, then what about the conflicts? So it is related with the propaganda, false news, false informations. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Okay. It was not being fought by clever moves. The countries used the clever moves or not? What about the Cuban Missile Crisis? Okay, I give time for you people. Okay, please cross check with the textbook and come with the conclusion tomorrow. Okay, so please read it. Please read it. So we will discuss that. All these answers we will discuss. Okay, don't worry. Next one, such kind of questions are there. Assertion and the reasoning type questions are there. So it is very important to read and understand such kind of questions. You can see number of such kind of questions are here. There. Assertion, reasoning type questions there. So it is very important to understand the chapter and the concept that mentioned. Okay, clear? And you can see section C. Here it is attempt any 10 questions only. So here you can see picture-based questions are there. Okay. To the first state to be created due to the linguistic demands after independence. Okay. An idea?
Andhra Pradesh.
Andhra Pradesh, correct answer. Okay, study the picture given below and answer the question as that follows. Okay, what does this logo symbolize? This logo is, what logo is this?
World Peace.
World peace. Okay. Okay, let it be. So visually impaired candidates, they have to attend another question. Next one, study the cartoon given below and answer the question that follows. Okay. United Nations and war. Okay, so picture-based questions are there in number, and passage-based questions also are here. Passage-based questions are there. Okay, so hope these ideas are clear for you people. Altogether, 60 questions are there. Clear? Altogether, 60. Clear? In which you have to answer 50 questions there. So what are the different types of questions here? Direct MCQ questions are there. Okay, direct MCQ questions are there. Okay, next one, reason and assertion type questions are there. Reason and assertion type questions are there. Passage based questions are there. Passage based questions are there. Next one, cartoon based, picture based questions also are there. Clear? This is the pattern of the question paper. Pattern of the question paper. Is this clear? So the question paper is divided into 3 sections. Okay, question paper is divided into 3 sections. The first section constitutes of 24 questions, that is section A. Section B also 24 questions. Okay, so section A and section B you have to answer only 20 questions each. Clear? Section A 20 questions, section B 20 questions. And section C there are 12 questions. Out of the 12 questions, you should answer only 10. Okay, clear? So total 50 answers will be there. The maximum mark is awarded for these 50 questions and its answers it is 40. It is a 40. Okay, so marks are equally distributed. Okay, marks are equally distributed for all answers. There is no negative marks. There is no negative marks. Today itself I will upload the question paper for you people. Okay, so yesterday we wrote 2 questions, I think so, right? How many member countries have got veto power in the UN Security Council and why? Second question, mention any 2 advantages of having international organization in the world. Clear? Okay, write down the next question. State any 2 objectives of the UN. State any 2 objectives of the UN. State any 2 objectives of the UN. Write the answer. First point, first objective, to maintain international peace and security. To maintain international peace and security. To maintain international peace and security. Second one, to facilitate cooperation among member countries. To facilitate cooperation among member countries by avoiding conflicts and war. By avoiding conflicts and war. Okay, to maintain international peace and security. Okay, to facilitate cooperation among the member countries. Okay, among the member countries by avoiding conflicts and war. Next question. State any 2 objectives of Human Rights Watch. State any 2 objectives of Human Rights Watch. State any 2 objectives of Human Rights Watch. Okay, so it's an NGO, we know that, right? Okay, non-governmental organization. Write down. First point, to draw global media's attention, to draw global media's attention to human rights abuses. To draw global media's attention to human rights abuses. To human rights abuses. To human rights abuses. Second point, to help in building international coalitions, coalitions, coalitions like the campaigns to ban landmines, to ban landmines, to ban landmines, to stop the use of child soldier, to stop the use of child soldiers, to stop the use of child soldiers, and to establish international criminal court, and to establish international criminal court. Okay. Ashwini, just read all those 4 questions and its answers. The 2 that you wrote yesterday and the 2 that you wrote now. Please read the questions and answers first.
How many countries got power in US Security Council and why? 5 permanent countries, France, Russia, UK, USA, China got power because they have been emerged as an industrial developed countries to take any decision.
Okay.
Mention
Next question.
mention any 2 advantages of having international organization in the world to help countries in conflicting different to make the countries cooperate and create
First point one more time. First point.
To help countries in conflicting difference to make the country cooperate and create better living conditions for the humanity.
So first point, to help the countries in the matters of conflicts and differences, right? Is that correct or not? If there's a mistake, please correct that. Okay, the first point, to help the countries in matters of what? Conflicts and differences. Second point is correct. Come on. Third one.
State any 2 objectives of UN. Maintain international peace and security to financial cooperation among membering countries.
What is that? To maintain international peace and security. First point. Second point, to facilitate cooperation among member countries to avoiding conflicts and war. Right? Okay. For the question.
1 second. State any 2 objectives of human rights war.
Human rights watch. Human rights watch, right?
Yes. To draw global
global.
I lost one word.
What is that?
To human rights abuses. The word before.
To draw global media's attention. Global media's attention. This is what I'm telling you people to send your notes regularly, but no one doing that except 3 students. Okay, 3 students regularly they are sending the notes there. Other students weekly 2 days they might send, or else they will not. Okay, so please observe here. So they draw global media's attention to human rights abuses, to help in building international coalition like the campaigns to ban landmines, to stop the use of child soldiers, and to establish international peace. All right? Sorry, International Criminal Court. Next one, next question. What reforms in UN are required? What reforms in the UN are required? Okay, write down. The following reforms are required in the UN. Required in the UN. Reform of the organization structures and processes. Reform of the organization structures and processes. Structures and processes. Reform the organization structures and processes. Second point, a review of the issues, a review of the issues, a review of the issues that fall within the jurisdiction of the organization, that fall within the jurisdiction of the organization. Jurisdiction, jurisdiction of the organization. Third point, reforms are required. Reforms are required. Reforms are required due to certain limitations. Due to certain limitations to the UN. Due to certain limitations to the UN. That is only 5 members on permanent basis. Only 5 members on permanent basis. Only 5 members in the permanent basis. Permanent basis. In the UN Security Council. In the UN Security Council. The UN Security Council, and their veto power. And their veto power. Comma, dominance of few powerful countries, etc. Dominance of few powerful countries, etc. Dominance of few powerful countries, etc. Okay, next question is an important question for the examination. Want to understand that properly? Discuss the resolution. Discuss the resolution. RESOLUTION, resolution adopted by General Assembly. Adopted by General Assembly. Adopted by General Assembly in 1992. In 1992. Over the reform of the UN Security Council. Over the reform of the UN Security Council. So as a result of the discussion in the General Assembly, right, related with the reforms. Okay, the question is repeating one more time for you people. Discuss the resolution adopted by the General Assembly in 1992 over the reform of the UN Security Council. Answer. Answer. In 1992, the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution. In 1992, the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution. Adopted a resolution which reflected 3 main complaints. Which reflected 3 main complaints. Which reflected 3 main complaints. So the General Assembly, there was some complaints in the General Assembly meeting there. Okay, in the year 1992. The first complaint is the UN Security Council no longer represents the UN Security Council. The UN Security Council the UN Security Council no longer represents contemporary political realities. No longer represents contemporary political realities. Okay. So the Security Council is not giving adequate importance for contemporary political realities. Okay. Or contemporary political changes, present day political changes. Okay. Next one, its decisions reflect only Western values. Its decisions reflects only Western values. Its decisions reflect only Western values and interests. Western values and interests, as we discussed earlier. Here, the permanent members in the Security Council, except China, almost all other countries, they are following the Western values. Okay, so they give importance for the Western values. Okay, its decision reflect only Western values and interests, and are dominated by few powers, and are dominated by few powers, and are dominated by few powers. And are dominated by few powers. Third point, it lacks equitable representation, equal representation. It lacks equal representation. There is no equal representation. Okay, these are the three major complaints that made by the General Assembly against the Security Council, and related with the UN's reforms. Okay. Conclusion. Considering above mentioned demands for restructuring the UN, on 1st January 1997, on 1st January 1997, the UN Secretary General, Kofi Annan, Kofi, Kofi Annan, ANNAN, Kofi Annan, initiated an inquiry into how the UN should be reformed. Initiated an inquiry into how UN should be reformed. UN should be reformed. So, related with the reforms of United Nations, the name, it is Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan, the Secretary General of United Nations at that time. Clear? Kofi Annan. Okay. So, Amal Raju, please read that questions and answers first. Grishma, what happened? You're late today? Grishma.
Sir, I was not at home.
Okay. Come on, Amal. Hello. So Amal's audio is not that clear, I think. Okay. Ashirya, can you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Discuss the resolution adopted by General Assembly in 1992 over the reforms of the UN Secretary Council. In 1992, the UN General Assembly adopted a resolution which reflected three main complaints. The UN Security Council no longer represents the contemporary
It is
political
Security
realities.
Council, right?
So you say General Assembly.
Wait 1 minute. Okay, so observe here. The UN General Assembly adopted a resolution which reflected three main complaints. The UN Security Council, right?
The UN Security Council no longer
Okay, fine.
represents the contemporary political realities.
Okay.
It discusses its decisions reflects only Western values and interests and are dominated by few powers. It lacks equitable representation. Considering above mentioned
So remember,
demand,
equitable representation means equal representation, right? That's what equitable. Okay, fine.
considering above mentioned demands for restructuring the UN on 1st January 1997, the UN Secretary General Kofi Annan initiated an inquiry into how the UN should be reformed.
Okay, fine. So that's the answer. So I think this answer is clear for you people. Okay. So related with the United Organization, we discussed numerous things there. Okay. So basically, it is related with the tug of war between the permanent members in the Security Council and other members in the General Assembly. That's related with the reform of what you can say, a resolution for reform of the particular United Nations Security Council. Okay, clear or not? Not only that, in this chapter we discussed about India's relationship with the United Nations. India's relationship with the United Nations and why United Nations and United Nations other organs and organizations. Clear? Organs of the United Nations and other organizations are there like WHO, ILO, UNESCO, UNICEF. Okay, Amnesty International. Okay. Clear or not? Like that, various other organizations also are there. You have to give adequate importance for all those organizations, and you want to read that ES also important. The World Bank is there. All right. Okay. So write down the next question. Next question. What is the veto power? Should it be modified? So number of times we discussed about the veto power and what is that? Okay. What is the veto power? Should it be modified? Should it be modified? Should it be modified? Okay. Write down. The veto power is a negative vote. The veto power is a negative vote. The veto power is a negative vote. To stall STALL, to stall any decision by 5 permanent members, to stall, to check, that's the meaning, to check any decision by 5 permanent members, any decision by 5 permanent members of UN Security Council, of UN Security Council, of UN Security Council, full stop. Sometimes the moves have been made to modify this, but it is presumed to have presumed to have a danger, presumed to have a danger to lose interest by great powers, to lose interest by the great powers. by great powers. And without their support, and involvement, without their support and involvement, such organization would become ineffective. Such organization would become ineffective. Ineffective. Okay, so what is, so complete it, ineffective, last word. Okay, so veto power, negative vote, right? So only the 5 powers can enjoy that. Is that necessary or not? The answer says it is important, right or not? If such veto power is not there, what will happen there? These superpowers will lose their interest in participate in the United Nations organization. Clear or not? And it is difficult to maintain such organization without the cooperation of these big powers. Okay. So the before 3 months we read a news in the newspaper. What is that? America stopped aid to, what is that? WHO, World Health Organization. Clear or not? Stopped giving funds to World Health Organization. Why it is so? World Health Organization not took, or there is no adequate measures taken by World Health Organization to inform about the disease, it seems, which disease, this pandemic, COVID-19. And they tried to support a chain, it seems. So what happened? America stopped funding. Clear. So without this kind of funding, it is very difficult to operate this organization. Clear or not? That much money is necessary. So these great powers or the superpowers are able to donate a huge sum as funds. Okay, clear or not? Okay, so veto power is necessary. Okay, so they can take some decisions and they can support it and they can reject it also. Clear? Clear? Okay, that's what the veto power and negative voting system. Negative voting system. Okay, is this clear or not? Okay, so it's time to wind up the session. We will be in the next class. So please learn all these things properly. And next class, again, we will discuss the question paper. So I will upload the question paper in the class group. Please download that, take a printout. Okay, and try to find out the answers. Any mistakes or errors or confusions are there, we will discuss in the coming class. Okay, okay, guys, thank you very much.